What's going on, everybody? Matt Malatesta here, VYPE Media. Coach Dom Daste up at Eastside Catholic, up in the state of Washington. Weird situation last week. They had a team forfeit. In lieu of that, they made lemonade out of lemons. They get and have kind of like a little community fun night. Coach, just walk us through last week. Walk us through the ups and downs of last week, and it all culminated into some fun Friday night.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, we wanted to play last week, but that was not the option, and so we tried to make the best of it, like you said. And so we found we did practice during the week and tried to refine some more fundamentals and get ready for this upcoming opponent. But we Friday night, in lieu of playing, we went and did a little community service at a church locally, and then came back and had team dinner. Then we had a karaoke contest, which I haven't laughed that hard in a long time. Some of our guys did a great job. We have some guys who could really sing, and so that was kind of a pleasant thing to watch. And then some guys who really can't sing, which was painful. And so, but we had a couple guys. We had one of our kids who phenomenal guitar player and ripped off a couple songs. And so it was really, really good. I think our community, our family appreciated the effort, and in lieu of not playing, we did the best of what we had.
Perfect. Well, big week this week.
Yeah.
O'Day, legendary coach, legendary program, rival. How are we getting ready for this week?
I think this is a multi-layered deal, right? They're responsible for really the last two losses we had last season. They knocked us out of the playoffs, the last second deal last year. And so obviously they're a good team. They're the reigning state champions. Coach Kohler has done a phenomenal job over the last, I think, 33 years. I believe he's all-time winningest coach now. And so there's a reason they're successful, right? They do things the correct way, and they work their butts off and all those things. And so all that being said, we're pretty proud of our program and the work we put into ours. And so we think, if we're fundamentally sound and we are ready to go in terms of technique and those kinds of things, we'll give them a fighting chance, right? And so, but they're the ones who are sitting at the top right now. So our goal is to take that from them. And so we'll do our best. I know our kids will be up for it. They're excited. They've had this marked on their calendar since they knocked us out the playoffs and in November of last year. And so I'm excited. I'm excited to play a quality opponent and make sure that we put our best foot forward.
Key to this game, y'all could put up some points. That's obvious. Your defense is very stingy. But what do you feel like the keys to this game will be?
It's very basic. It's the line of scrimmage. They're obviously really, really talented up front. I believe all four of their five guys who rotate or whatever have been offered in some form or fashion with a scholarship. And so we gotta play well up front, right? And so that's kind of our MO in terms of our recipe for victory. But it's a tall challenge with those guys they have up front, especially that front four who are really talented. Well coached, well and disciplined, and so we gotta make sure we're doing things correctly, putting our kids in great situations to succeed.
I mean, you're in it. Y'all are in it. This is mid-season-ish, let's call it.
Yeah.
I mean, what is the grind like? When do you start like really wearing out and just trying to hit that next gear?
I think. For us, this year's a little bit abnormal, right? We traveled our first week, came back, played on a short week after that, and then obviously last week we had some time, right? And so for me personally, it was kind of a little bit of a mid-season recharge, right? I wasn't waking up at 4 a.m. thinking about what we're doing on third down or whatever it may be. And so I got a little bit of a recharge this week, and then it doesn't take much for me to get going for this particular week. And so, I think starting next week and the week after, it'll start to set in a little bit that, if we reach our goals, we're we're a long ways in terms of just game time and preparation and all that kind of stuff.
Vibe around the hallways. When you're winning, it's fun. It could be really fun. But what's the vibe around the hallways? Everybody's kind of hyped up. It makes it a great school day experience.
Yeah, I think, I mean, there's no love lost between the two communities for this upcoming week. And so, our kids are excited. I think we'll have a good turnout for an away game. But I think our community does a great job of celebrating all our sports and celebrating everything we do here at EC. And so winning is something that we expect and all those kinds of things. But our kids and our community, our teachers, our parents, everybody, they do a great job of gathering around our student athletes and making sure that, they're appreciated and stuff like that. And so, like you said, winning is a great deodorant. I think as the coach, in my mind, I'm like, I can focus on some of the negative things or some of the things we need to improve on immediately. And so I have to remember that we've had 2 good outings and that kind of stuff. But I think the inherent nature of coaches, and probably me in particular, is we got to get better at X, Y, and Z now and yesterday. And so, one of the coaches I coached for a long time ago, he's like, all the wins blur together. I can tell you everything that went wrong in the 20 losses in my career or whatever it is. And so I'm a little bit like that. I can tell you, I can recount the semifinal game from last year in my sleep. I struggled to figure out what happened last week against Malatesta.
Yeah. Well, how do you keep them locked in and not,
this week
it's such a big game. How do you keep them locked in? B, like, hey, let's just play our game. Don't try and do things that we're not accustomed to doing.
Yeah, this week's easy. I mean, we always concentrate on our kids doing their 111. You don't have to be extraordinary. You don't have to do anything out of our nature. We have to play disciplined, structured football, play to our standard and expectations. Our effort and finish isn't compromised, and regardless of who we're playing. But there's a little bit of a pep in their step when they walk out on the field this week in terms of practice, in terms of preparation, watching film, all those kinds of things, right? And so the great thing about a rivalry is it brings out the best of both sides in terms of performance and stuff. And so we're excited to go play a really good team who we feel like we have to dethrone in order to create a winning path for us to the state championship.
All right, big one. Let's see what happens this week. We'll talk next week. Coach, good luck this week. Again, you're not going to let them get to, you will keep them within the rails, I'm sure. This is Coach Dom Daste of Eastside Catholic. Huge game against O'Day this week. We'll see you at the game.
Appreciate you, Matt.